Indeed, all eyes are on Washington. Steve Witkoff, the U.S. Special Envoy, says that Russia had agreed to allow the U.S. and Europe to give Ukraine robust security guarantees as part of a potential peace deal. Speaking to CNN, Witkoff said that both U.S. and Europe could effectively offer Article 5-like language to cover a security guarantee, referring to NATO's principle that an attack on one member is an attack on all. He added that it was agreed by both U.S. and Russia in Alaska that the arrangement could be an alternative if the Ukrainians can live with it, since Putin has long opposed Ukraine joining the NATO.
It means that the United States is potentially prepared to be able to give Article 5 security guarantees, but not from NATO, directly from the United States and other European countries. That is big. I mean, really big.
This idea of one such agreement, however, has been rejected by Zelensky, who said that a ceasefire was necessary as it was impossible to negotiate under fighting, during a press conference alongside President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen.
And this is our main task. We need security to work in practice, like Article 5 of NATO, and we consider EU accession to be part of security guarantees. And we have heard from President Trump that America and Putin see it the same way. So we talked about the EU accession negotiations.
Despite rejection from the Ukrainian leader, EU Chief Ursula von der Leyen hailed the US proposal of an offer of NATO-style security guarantees.
We welcome President Trump's willingness to contribute to Article 5-like security guarantees for Ukraine. And the coalition of the willing, including the European Union, is ready to do its share.
So what exactly is Article 5 and why does it matter for Ukraine? Incorporated in 1949, the primary aim of the North Atlantic Treaty was to create a pact of mutual assistance to counter the risk that the Soviet Union would seek to extend its control of Eastern Europe to other parts of the continent. Every participating country agreed that this form of solidarity was at the heart of the treaty, effectively making Article 5 on collective defense a key component of the alliance. The Article 5 of NATO establishes the principle of collective defense, where an armed attack on one NATO member is treated as an attack on all members. The purpose is to ensure mutual security and deter aggression against NATO members. Anchored in Article 51 of the United Nations Charter, it recognizes the inherent right of individual or collective self-defense. Under the article, each member state agrees to assist the attacked party or parties by taking actions deemed necessary, which may include the use of the armed force. The measures taken under Article 5 cease when the United Nations Security Council intervenes to restore peace. But Zelensky's apprehensions on U.S. guarantees are not inexplicable, as they do not provide the security umbrella of NATO. The U.S. guarantees are for non-NATO Ukraine, tailored to its conflict with Russia, as the U.S. has asked Ukraine to give up its demand to join NATO. U.S. guarantees are less formal, potentially non-binding, and lack NATO's military structure. U.S. guarantees emphasize immediate, practical support versus Article 5's like troops, weapons, and logistics, although historical U.S. guarantees to Vietnam, Afghanistan show inconsistent reliability. The Article 5 of NATO has been invoked just once since its inception after the September 11th attacks, when NATO allies triggered Article 5 and came to America's assistance, leading to NATO-led invasion of Afghanistan against Taliban. Sofia Fedina is a Ukrainian member of parliament and a politician. Fedina is now joining us live from Kyiv. Fedina, thank you very much for making time for us and welcome to WION World is One. Do you have any hopes in this meeting?
I will hope first that it will not get worse. And actually, I really hope that we will find a possibility to stop Moscow aggression on Ukraine's territory altogether, as many people and countries are involved that really seek peace.
Fedina, as a member of parliament, what do you think or what do you make of Trump's statement when he says that Ukraine has to give up Crimea and abandon its NATO ambitions for peace to prevail?
First of all, we have to remember that all the territories, including Crimea, are constitutional territory of Ukraine, and we cannot change the constitution, and any president has no possibility to do that without support of the people. Ukrainians never will support this kind of decision because these territories have been taken by Moscow Federation by force, and it was the infringement of international law. If we take to the international context, if in any case this happens, then we will get a precedent for all the other countries when some aggressor countries can attack other territories and proclaim them to be theirs, infringing international law. Actually, I think it may start the Third World War. If to talk about NATO, Ukraine was neutral country when Moscow Federation attacked Ukraine in 2014. Till the end of the 2018, we've been neutral country already being under Moscow aggression. And only Moscow army made Ukrainians to change their position and to seek some extra security guarantees. So the question of neutrality is not a question for Moscow Federation. It invaded Ukraine just simply to destroy the country and to exterminate Ukrainians. Actually, all these negotiations that Ukraine should exchange its own territories or refuse of its own territories, it reminds me of 1938 when it was a München decision to give up Sudets in Czechia and in this way to pacify the aggressor. What we've got, the Second World War. Pacifying Putin, we show him that he has a strength. And negotiating in this way with Putin gives him a view of the possible future aggression. Unfortunately, Putin perceives all the negotiations and all the attempts to find some peaceful resolution as the weakness of every state that negotiates. And that means that he will just comprise all his power for the future and go on with the war.
All right. Fedina, finally and very quickly, what do you hope to hear from President Trump?
I want Trump to make America great again, to make America the country that protects democracy and punishes those who infringe international law and those who started unprovoked war. I want Trump to protect Ukraine, protect democracy, and punish Putin.
Madam Fedina, thank you very much for your time and for talking to WION World as One today.